Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful tutorial, we're trying to see how to deploy our Streamlit apps on AWS. So credit to LST for showing us a very simple approach on deploying on AWS. And the new update is that Streamlit has been updated with some very cool and nice features. So check the links below for some interesting stuff about it. So let's see how to do that. So the basic steps to be taken on deploying your app on AWS is, first of all, to create an account, right, in AWS account. Then we're going to create an instance. Then we're going to configure a custom TCP port on port 8501, which is usually the port that Streamlit works on. Then we are going to SSH into our instance. Then we're going to run, right? But to keep it continuously running, we'll be using TMOS to keep it running. And then the final step is going to configure a custom domain name. So you continue from here to the last one. So let's see how to do that in this particular tutorial. So first, we are going to create an AWS account. So just go to aws.amazon.com. Then you just create an account, right? So that is the very first step. So they're going to give you a 12-month free tier that you can use to do whatever you want to do. They're not going to bill you until you permit them. So now let's move on to the next step. So the next step is just go to your console, AWS Management Console. So just click on this AWS logo here. It's going to refresh. So it's refreshing perfectly. Then you are going to search for EC2, right? So you can either find it at the find services here by typing EC2, right? So the EC stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So it's a virtual server. Or you can just go to your all services under the compute session, then you find EC2 here. So just click on EC2. Perfect. So it's going to open your EC2 dashboard, which is going to be this particular stuff that we have here. Perfect. So the next step is that you're going to create an instance. So you just go to the launch instance, then you create your own instance. So it's going to give you some 7 steps to follow to create this instance. So the first step is that you are going to select an Amazon machine image, right? So the Amazon machine image is going to be like a template that consists of the operating system that you need to run, right? So we have Amazon Linux, we have Amazon AMI 2018, which is what we're using. And then we have Red Hat, we have SUSE, we have Ubuntu. So you can use any of them as you wish. But the Ubuntu doesn't have Python already installed, so you can use that one and then you have to install Python from scratch. But let's choose an image with Python already installed, which is the Amazon Linux AMI 2018. So we'll be choosing this one because already having Python already installed. So let's select this one. Perfect. So this is going to help the next step of choosing an instance type. So for the instance type, you can just choose the general purpose, the T2 micro, the free tier eligible, right? This is what we'll be using. You can use any of them as you wish, but because you're on the free tier, just use this one. Then you move on to the next instance details. So what we need is a security group. So just move on to next, then next. All of these things you can do them later, but let's go to the security group. Perfect. So here in the security group, you're going to establish a firewall, right, to allow our port. So we're going to add a rule, a firewall rule. Then you're going to choose custom TCP port. Then in the port range, you're going to specify our Streamlit port, which is going to be 8501, right? That's the name of the port we're using. Then move to the source. Then at the source, you're going to choose anywhere. Perfect. To allow the port to be connected anyway. Then you can also add another custom rule, which is it can be 8502, right? Then the same approach. Then going to choose anyway. So you can create as many ports as you want, but usually Streamlit runs on this port or this port for the next session in case this one is already running. Then let's go to review and launch. Perfect. So it's going to give you all of this information, the details of what you have selected. Then you click on the launch, right? So if I click on launch, it's going to give me the option of creating a key pair, right? So the key pair is what is going to be used to SSH into our instance, right, securely. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to choose or create a new key pair. That is the most important thing here. Then you can just give it any name that you want. So let's give it a simple name as our app, right? Our Streamlit Key, something like that. something descriptive, right? Our Streamlit Key. Then I'll click on download key pair. So it is downloaded a key pair, which is going to be a .pem file. Very interesting. Then the next thing is that you're going to launch our instances. It's going to launch all our various instances. So your instances are now being launched. So after that, you just go scroll down, then you can view your instance. Perfect. So these are all the instances that I have running. I have several instances running. So if I come back to this place, right, you can see that this is our key name. That's what we are using, our Streamlit Key. So when I click on it, it's going to show me all the details. Right, perfect. So this is the public IP address. So this is what you'll be using. We have our public DNS. So this is what you'll be using to launch inside. So you can just see it here by coming to this location here. So inside we have public DNS. Then you use this one to SSH inside. That is the first method. You can also use the public IP instead of the DNS. You can also use that one perfectly. So let's see how to do that. So we are done with these steps. We have done with step 1, step 2, step 3. Now let's move on to SSH into our instance. So how do you do that? So in our same location that we have our file, show you my folder, our PEM file, the one we downloaded. So I'll copy my PEM file from my downloads folder, right, and I'll place it on my desktop inside my AWS key. So I have a folder called AWS key with all my keys there, right? So this is our new key. So let's open this particular terminal. Perfect. So let me increase the size so that I can see. So if I check here, so I have two different files. So this is the key that you are using, our Streamlit Key. So if I go with ls-lia, it's going to give me information about it, and you can see from here that it's having some permissions, right? So you're supposed to reduce these permissions on it. So how do you do that? So you can just use key mode 400, then the name of our key. Perfect. So if I go back to the same stuff I did, LI, now I see that now the permissions have been reduced, right? Very, very interesting. So this is to allow us to be more secure. Okay, perfect. So that is the basic idea. Now we have our Streamlit Key. So how do we launch into it? So the simplest way is just to go with SSHI, right? Then we supply our key, then you give it your name. So that in most of the AMI, if you come back to this place, right, if you check here, this is an Amazon machine AMI. So the instance that we usually use for these ones are EC2 user, right? So that is what you'll be using to go, and that's going to be the username. So let's make it like this, and let's break this one here, right, so that you see. So we'll be using this public, bring it up, we'll be using this public DNS, right, to connect to our SSH. So we just copy this one here, this public DNS, then I'm just going to go with EC2 user, right, then I'll paste in my public DNS, the one we copied. So paste it. Perfect. So that is how it's going to be, right? So if I go with enter, now it's going to give me some question. Just go with yes. It's supposed to be yes, right? Type yes. Perfect. Now I'm already connected. Perfect. So that now it has changed from this green root to a new instance, right? Perfect. So that's the first method of logging into your instance. So if I go with ls, there's nothing there. So I'm in a different system. I'm rather now inside this particular DNS stuff, right? That's the basic idea. So if I do the IP, I've forgotten how to do that. I don't know. IP config. I've forgotten how to spell it. IP IP config. It's if config, right? Windows is right. So if I check with if config, you can see that I'm in a different location, right? There is a IP address there, right, that we are using. This, you can see that this one is the same as the ones here, right? This particular stuff here, right? So that's the basic idea. Now let's move on to how to build a app. So that's the first method. Let's move to another method. So the next method is that you can come to our location here that we have. Let me make it bigger. There's a different method. Then you just go to your the root of your file, then cd-cd.ssh, right? So when you come here, it's going to give you the option of creating a config file in case you don't have a config file already. You just go with touch, then you create a config file, right? I already have a config file, so I'm just going to go with Sublime, use Sublime or Nano to open, then config. That is the second method, right? This is the second method of SSH into our instance. So if I come to this place, I can create another host. So let's create another host. To create another host, we can just go with host, then the name, let's call it as our Streamlit, right? Our Streamlit, right? That's the name we are using. Then we're just going to give it a host name. So the host name is going to be the IP address. So we just go to our location here. Realize we had a public IP here, so just going to copy this particular public IP that we have, this particular one here, right? Then paste it. This is another method of also using it. Then the user is EC2 user, then identity file. So identity file, right? So the identity file is the PEM file that we have. So I'm just going to go to the location of my identity file, which was inside my AWS keys. So back to my CD desktop, AWS keys, right? And then from here you can just check something. Apologies for the noise. So this is where it is. So I just go with pwd, perfect, right? So I'm just going to copy this particular stuff here. That is going to be my file, right? So I'll paste it here. So see where I pasted it. Go back and let's paste it here. Perfect. So the next thing is just supply the key name. So the key name here that we had was this, our Streamlit PEM key. So I'll copy this here, paste, right? We're going to paste it here. Perfect. So let's see what we have done so far. So this is another method of SSHing into our system without the whole long stuff, right? So that is a simple method. So let's save this one that we have. So the name that we're using is our Streamlit, right? And then there's identity file, and there's a user. Perfect. So let's save this one. So after saving it, we can just start. So let's try it and see. So perfect. Right, so I can just exit from this place. Then let's create a new tab. So Control N, and I want to compare and see that this is the old one that we have, and then this is the new one, right, that you have created so far. So the same stuff, I can just do it SSH, then the name, which is our Streamlit. This is another method of doing it. So perfect. So now we have entered into the same place. So either you use the first method of supplying the full name that we did, which was this particular log method here, or you can just follow by creating a config file with our details, right? So any of them is going to work perfectly. So you can see that you are already inside. So we are done with the step 2 of securing into our instance, right? We did this one. Now the next thing is to run, then use the TMOS. So let's see what we're doing so far. So let's close this. We don't need this one anymore. So let's see what we're doing. So the first stuff is that if you check Python, we have Python 2.7, but we need Python 3.6. So we're going to exit from this, then install Python. So if I check with which Python 3.6, it's still going to give us, right? So it's that we don't have Python 3.6 there. So let's add it. So to install it, just going to go with sudo yum install Python 3.6, right? So it's going to ask us, then I'm going to go with yes. So install Python. Perfect. So now if I go with Python 3, now I have Python 3.6 there. Very interesting. So that is the next step. So we need to be able to get it to work. So the next step we need is we need to get git. So if I go with git, I don't have git. So we can use CUL or wget to get our file, right? The particular file that we want to run our particular app. So how do we do that? So let's install git. So sudo yum install git. We are using git for now. So I'm going to install git. So yes. Perfect. So if I go back now, my git has been installed. So git. Perfect. So git. So we use git to clone our website, right? So if I go to my big bucket, I can use GitHub, any of them. Then I'll come to clone here. This is the same app that I have. Now click on it, right? Perfect. So I've saved it. Then I'll use git to copy it. You can use wget, any of them as you wish. So if I paste it, now I have it. So I can click on it. So that's cloned into it. If I do ls, now I have my app there. So I can just see it into my Streamlit app. And then here we have our app itself, the image, the readme, and then the comment.txt file. So perfect. So the next step is to install our packages, right? The packages on the stuff that we need, right? So you can just use straight away with any of them. You can either use this recurrent file to install it, or you can just directly install, because this is like your own machine, right? Your own server. So you can do whatever you want to do. So let's install Python. So it's going to be sudo Python. We're going to install Streamlit rather with Python 3.6, sudo Python 3.6 install, right? Then dash model, right? Then pip install Streamlit. So and then you can just add whatever packages you want to. Go to install Streamlit on our local or our cloud server. It takes some time for it to install. So that is very, very fast, right? It's actually faster than my own machine. Perfect. So that's finished. So now we have Streamlit. So if I check Streamlit version, now I have my Streamlit version, right? 0.4 now, which is the current newest version. Some very cool, nice features. That's a great thing that they have done. I'm sure that in upcoming versions are going to have some cool stuff that we never imagined. Okay, so let's see how to run our app. So to run our app, we first need two mods, right, to keep on running. So let's run our app first. It's going to be Streamlit run. Then the name of our app is app.py. Perfect. So now it's running on this particular port. This is a network port. Then this is going to be the external port. So if I copy this external URL, then let's paste our external URL inside our browser. So close this one, paste and go. Hooray! Now we have our Streamlit deployed on AWS Ec2. Perfect. So everything is working as expected. So we have our app. Perfect, right? Everything is working. So I just preview our reference. So this is a title, this is a header. In case I want to show the code, I just go with display code, right? Perfect. So everything is working as expected. I can even go to preview for the alerts, and then I can see that everything is working, right, as expected. Very, very interesting, right? This is the code for it. So that is how to deploy your Streamlit app on AWS. But you can see that here there is a name, right, which is not that nice, right? So the next step is to configure this particular name to your DNS, to your website, or whatever you want, right? So that is a whole video tutorial that we can do later. But one thing you have noticed that this is running straight, right? It's running from here. So the moment I close this, right, you are no more going to work. So let me show you what I mean. So let's reduce this, and then let's bring this one close by, right? So this is running like this. So the moment I close this one here, our app is no more going to work. So perfect. I've closed it. So let's try it and refresh and see what I mean by that. So if I go back here, then let's go to this. Yeah, it's not responding, right? It's not even working at all. It's not responding because it's no more running, right? You have shut it down. So how do we keep it running continuously? So that is where TMOS come inside. So to install TMOS, just going to go with, let me reduce this one here. No, this is normal. Right. So to install TMOS, just going to go with this option of sudo yum install. If you are using Ubuntu, you can just use apt, right? So sudo yum install tmos. It's going to install. Yes, perfect, right? So now we have tmos installed, and I'm just going to create a tmos session. So tmos, then you can just create a new session, then you can just give it a particular name. So new -s, so let's give it as our Streamlit instance, a name that you remember, right? Our Streamlit instance, or let's make it as our st instance, right? Something like that. So that's created a session. So you see that that's the name here, Streamlit instance, right? Perfect. So then I can run our app. So Streamlit run, then the name of our app. Perfect. So now it's running on this particular port, which we allow. That's why we allow this part to the second port. So if I copy this here, and then let's paste it here, right? So there's the second port now. So it's running. Perfect. So everything is working as expected. So that everything is working as previously. So I can do whatever thing I want to do, and then you can see that it's working. So you can just leave this session on like that, right? So if I just close this now, perfect. Now I've closed it, so it is still running, although I've closed that instance. So it's still going to work as expected. So let's try it and see whether it's working. So I go with display. It's not working, right? So the solution is to allow, you should not close this particular session, so you just keep on allowing the session to run. So that is a basic idea about how to deploy your Streamlit app. So I was also supposed to close it, so you're supposed to allow it to keep on running, then you can just exit it out, and then it will keep on running forever. So that is the basic idea about how to deploy your Streamlit app on AWS. So in case I want to go back and attach, I can just go to the same thing like tmos, then I can just ls. So this is the instance that I've already created, right? Then I can just tmos, then attach session to that particular session, which is the st session, right? -t, then my st instance, right? Perfect. So I can just run our app. It's now opening on different port. So that's the basic idea about it. So thank you for watching this tutorial. So in case you have any question or contribution, you can just put it inside the comment section below. So the basic idea is that you have to first of all create an account, right? Then you create an instance, then you configure your ports, very, very important. Then you SSH into your instance, then you run. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and stay tuned for more. See you at the top. Stay blessed.